Oh, shoot, it's doing the blurry thing for some reason. Okay, hopefully that'll fix itself in a minute. There we go. Okay, less than a minute for a change. You're live. Okay, thanks. The the pair that I ordered was on back order from the one company, so I canceled that and went ahead and got it direct. And in so doing, I saw that they had multiple pages of clearance items, most of which I didn't browse because I already have a bunch of shoes. But I decided to show two that I had from before. I might have shown the one in the video from way back at episode 56 or 58 or whatever it was. When I had ordered those, I tried to get them in a second color that was not available, that this time was available, but was on back order. But then when I went to the Stacy Adams site, they just had it, so it took a week to get here. So the shipping was free, but if you are, buying something for like a wedding or something and you need it and you live in like Georgia or Texas or California or New England or something, then you might want to pay for the upgraded shipping. So this is a pair that I had from before, and it is not the same exact model. This one was called the Tammany. It's going to be tiny. I don't think you're able to read it, but basically a kind of a pointy toe, wingtip, and a real Dracula looking shoe, right? I didn't buy this expecting to get to use it as often as I would like, which is why I wanted the other color that I knew I would wear. And I don't care for this, but like I said, when it's kind of a special occasion shoe, I kind of like, for the price and the fact that not a lot of companies carry my size, and if I want something kind of retro, I'm kind of stuck. So Stacy Adams has kind of been the default winner, even though I haven't had a chance to really wear the shoes. So I'm not doing an unboxing of this. I'm just showing this as an example, because obviously the thumbnail is a totally different photo than the other shoe, which I had the photo put aside, and then I used the wrong photo for the thumbnail, but whatever, it doesn't matter because that's still one of the shoes I'm going to show in this video. So again, disclosure, if you go back and watch the previous video, there was also the wrong shoe in the thumbnail, but also a different Florsheim model that is more similar to the other one I'm going to show. I'll get into that in a minute. Okay, so this one, also another one that I had before. One of them I showed, but this wasn't it. And then I showed in the previous one the other wingtip that I got with the two tones. This one's a little more monotone, again with the pointy, a little bit with the kind of long front, but with this kind of embossed. This, you can see it's solid. It's not going to be ventilated like the other ones that I am trying to get. And they do have the kind of cushiony heel. But this one a little more toned down than the cream color here and then the darker brown here. So a little bit less explosive contrast, right? No, I didn't show the bottom of the previous. Well, it doesn't really matter. Again, I'm not doing an unboxing of this particular shoe. I'm just showing this for contrast of what I had gotten before. You might be able to find a similar model to this in the clearance or the regular. And this was called the Talarco Brown Multi. And I don't think that's the same name as that other one. I don't remember what was the name of that other one. But with the embossing and all that kind of thing, a little over the top. If you're not doing a kind of more retro. Is it on here? Plaza. I don't know if this is the... No, this was... Okay, this was one of the ones that I got that I showed in the last video. Not the other one that I'm yapping about. But if you watch the previous video, I show this shoe and I show that shoe. Side by side, basically, or back to back. Okay, so putting all that aside. So when I went to buy the... All right, I'll do the thumbnail shoe first. So here's an unboxing. I haven't tried this on yet. This one's called the Asher in Cognac, if that'll focus. I don't know, barely. This was on clearance. So I got it for like $100 plus free shipping plus 18% off or something. But then the California sales tax put like 15% right back on. So I didn't really quite save that 18%. But again, the free shipping was a nice touch. But if you need it for a special occasion, then you might want to cough up the $25 and just suck it up. But like I said, this might be ventilated-ish. It looked like it might, and the toe is not quite as extreme, but it is still a wingtip, not more of a cap toe like that other one. So yes and no, my style, depending on my mood. Again, I like a little bit more conservative as a rule, but again, if I'm trying to dress more jazzy or whatever, intentionally more retro, then this has a different outsole. Now, I was complaining about the slick outsole on the other ones being maybe an issue if I was using a drum pedal, so this would solve that problem. Not that I knew that when I bought these. I just bought them because I was looking at the top. So, okay, we're learning something together. And the foot pad looks slightly different, but probably feels about the same. I don't know how old this model is compared to some of the other models. I don't know what they're currently offering. It's similar in the new section, but if you have your size available in this one and you want to check it out, that's up to you. Again, this is not the buy stuff channel. So, and technically I'm doing a no buy year, but when I see a pair of shoes that is basically what I've been looking for in my size for $100, yes, I buy it. Even if I'm not technically buying stuff. And so it's got a rubber heel like some of the other ones. And then this does not necessarily seem to be the same leather as a lot of them. It doesn't have the stitching. I don't know if that's going to be leather or not with these inlays. And of course, there's stuff written on the tongue, but I can't read it because it's subdued and almost one color. Let's see if I can read it. Men's something. Yeah. I need a magnifying glass and a better light. I'm turning into a contortionist here trying to make this happen. I just don't see that happening. Well, the other ones that I've said made in China, this one says Red Zone Collection. So what's the difference with the red zone and the other zone? I don't know. If I undo the laces, maybe I can look at the tongue a little easier. This light makes glare and the shadow at the same time. Leather upper, and then the rest I can't read it at all. It's blurry. Anyway, you can see what I'm talking about. It looks easier to read in the reflection than it is in real life. Yeah, okay, well. Anyway, so there's the left shoe. There's a bit of cardboard and a bit of tissue paper. The rest of the box is this. Instead of bags, some of the shoes had bags. This one just has this wrap. So that's what the mystery is in the mystery box. And then of course this foot collector thingy. So basically the same exact shoe. Like I said, the floor shine ones had a bit more detailing and things back here than the whatever that other model was called of the Stacy Adams that I showed, or whatever, the more cap toe looking one. It was a rounder toe, less pointy, and it wasn't all this same exact design. If memory serves, but they're in the other room because I brought the wrong ones into the room, so whatever. I'm not going to go to the other room to get the shoes that are in the last video. But you can just watch the last video. Or was it? Oh, okay, so we've got a little cardboard thing here. It says Red Zone Collection, molded heel cup, anatomical arch support, fully removable. So there you go. And then whatever it says. Moving that. I don't know. I assume it says the same stuff on the tongue up in here, but it's going to be even harder to get up in here because the laces and the thing. Yeah, I can't read. Well, if it really matters, you'll figure it out if you buy some. If you're not buying them, then it won't matter, I guess. A little loose bit of suede or something. Gluey adhesive insert. And look down the barrel of both shoes. See if I see anything odd on the inside of this one. No. So again, we've got the same outsole with the same branding and the same rubber. And again, we're talking about still technically more of a derby lacing system, I'm assuming, because of this overlay. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure these are casual, smart casual, office casual, whatever you want to call them, casual shoes that people will still call dress shoes, even though they're not dress shoes. Because that's the day and age in which we live. So there's that. Okay, so that's unboxing number 1. Rubbing against each other too much before I have a chance to do whatever. And so unboxing number 2, this one's a bit more dented. The Beaumont sticker peeling. So here now, finally, we get a little extra bonus detail. That could have been a thumbnail right there, but it's not. Okay, and then there's a whole big thing. Brockton. Let's see if I can read this with the light in my eyes. Founded in 1875 in Brockton, Massachusetts by William H. Stacy and Henry L. Adams. The Stacy Adams Shoe Company has long been a part of American culture. Over the years, Stacy Adams shoes have gained a reputation for being at the forefront of the newest trends, hooray, while staying true to a legacy of quality craftsmanship. Again, haven't really had a chance to wear them all, so don't know how well they hold up. Today, along with creating our cutting-edge collections of dress and casual shoes and boots, We also produce, God, they could print this a little bit bigger. I'm not even that blind, but it's just really hard with the way the lamps are in here. We also produce acclaimed line of fashionable clothing and accessories. For 150 years, Stacy Adams has designed products for the fashionable man who is confident in his style choices and appreciates fine craftsmanship. The shoes you purchased today are a continuation of that heritage. So there you go. I have not looked into fashionable clothing and accessories. Did I say accessories? Acclaimed line. Anyway, okay. So yeah, I guess they're trying to, like many other companies, be your one-stop shop there, but I'm too lazy. I had bought the other ones from a catalog and had never even gone to their website. And when you do go to their website, it's like pop up, pop up, pop up. I was like, leave me the frick alone. I'm trying to order shoes. So that was kind of annoying. So this one did come with bags, and I knew that because I had looked in the box, but I had not, opened them up or really tried them on yet. So here we have a sneaker outsole, which is not necessarily exactly what I would totally want, but again, this coloring being closer to what I wanted for a summer casual vibe. So these are a little bit romper stomper hybrid, again, for my usual style, but again, most of the stuff in my more usual style wasn't available and doesn't come in my size and blah, blah, blah. So this was what I had to order, and they did cost full price, which was not super expensive, but if they are a little bit glorified sneakers, it's kind of annoying because I don't know if I can resole this, although it does seem to have a Goodyear welt kind of thing going on, which may or may not be a legitimate welt, in which case I will be able to resole them, but these ones, on the other hand, like I said, had none of that. I didn't show all of them. And this didn't even have the stitching around here, which, again, I don't know if that was a legitimate stitch or not. Yada, yada, yada on some of the pairs. Because, again, like I said, this company, I don't know if is all exactly resolable and everything, like higher quality. Okay, this one I can read the inside. It says men's, serial number, leather uppers / linings, balance man-made materials, made in China. And I assume by balance they mean this. So yeah, kind of a casual walking sole with a bit of a heel. Hopefully a decent a bit of arch support with, you've got that same kind of cushioned heel bed there. How far that continues to actually be comfortable toward the front, I don't know. It does feel a little bit foamy where the drop off is, but that's usually where it wears out fast and disappoints you real quick if it's a pair of sneakers. And again, this being this, I don't know what to expect in any kind of midsole-ish or whatever. But the design is basically the excuse for why I bought them, not necessarily to try and run marathons in them or whatever. And so it's got a little bit of the embossing thing going on here that I don't really need. And then the wingtip broguing here, which is kind of what, shows the sort of medallion kind of pattern. And then you've got, again, your kind of exterior lacing system with your the other kind of shoes I keep wanting to get that I keep not getting is saddle shoes. I've mentioned saddle shoes in a couple videos, I think. Don't actually own any. So this is just kind of a simple design. Like I said, I have some J&M shoes that are similar, but just not this much contrast. So this one being a little bit closer to maybe my true-ish style than the black ones, the Tammany's or whatever they were called. At least for the time being, because again, for $140 or whatever it was, they should be fine and match a fair amount of my wardrobe. If I can figure out how to get the laces to go back down where they were. Almost. What is this going on here? I don't know. Okay, I might never get that back together where it was. And I might never get this back in again either. But that's okay, because unlike a bunch of other stuff, I do plan to wear these sooner than later. So nothing up my sleeve. Second shoe. Second shoe, same as the foo, or whatever one would hope. So this is one of the newer lines. Again, to me, this looks a little less traditional, a little more hybrid-y, but could last through autumn. I mean, the no white after Labor Day thing, I don't know that totally applies to this, but again, I do already have just to compare. So again, a little more autumn, right? Because again, in winter, I might not necessarily be wearing as much brown. That's kind of this, what, chocolate and mahogany or whatever. What's that called? I don't know. Maybe on occasion. And by the time Thanksgiving rolls around, this is definitely wrong. Probably before Halloween, you would stop wearing this, but you could still fit it in, you know, with some back to school-y kind of outfits or whatever. If you're doing like a preppy vibe, this can still be enough Ivy style. Again, it might be a little casual for your actual job. Excuse me. Depending on where you work. I don't know how this will go over in the cooler months, but in summer, I don't think anybody's going to really look at the bottom of your shoe and care that it's white. And I'm sure this turns gray pretty quickly once you get going. But this is all foam here. In case that wasn't totally obvious before, this is definitely not anything leather here. So again, with this welt, after summer's over, how far will this have dug down into here? Don't know. Depends on how much I wear them, blah, blah, blah. So getting this resold would be a pretty significant operation if you're not used to doing that sort of thing, I guess. But I'm assuming it can be done. Most shoes and boots can be resold. It's just whether or not it's cost effective. With this being $140, I'd say that's reasonable, because then you'll get 2 more lifespans maybe out of it, and before you had to get the heel redone again, maybe. And so if this is, you know, true leather up here, this isn't going to degrade instantly. I just don't know how much. It's not the thickest leather. I'm pretty sure they mean this is also leather. It's a bit thin. So I guess if you had significant deterioration, you could get this inlay replaced with a sturdier leather later as well. Again, cost effective, don't know, but this is not where your significant stress point typically is. Yes, you're going to get, you know, creasing there, but this outer part is going to be more where you would really have to worry about that typically. And this being kind of a reinforced heel counter, I assume this is 2 layers, and there's no real, mystery here. This is just what it is, right? So I don't see a significant issue with these if they can be resold. Yeah, it might cost a little more than you want to spend at first, but once it's done, it's done. I don't think it's that big of an issue. Like I said, it's how long this actually lasts will be kind of whether or not I'm annoyed. Like, okay, the whole shoe should have been cheaper because this wore out, faster than a sneaker or almost as fast as a sneaker or whatever. We'll see. Again, not my first choice necessarily for the style of shoe and everything, but just kind of what was available in the color that I wanted for the last 2 years or something already. And I don't know if I'm ever getting this back in here. Let's try it. We'll try it. How these factory workers accomplish these things in a time crunch. I'm not totally incompetent, but I'm also not. Okay, whatever. Getting close enough. So that's my unboxing. It went on a little bit long, but I did show you 5 pairs of shoes, kind of, or almost. So, yada, yada, yada. Bing, bang, boom. And again, how long it takes me to get to wear them all and be able to give a proper kind of update. Don't know. Check back. Yes, I have several of these now. And most of them, again, more seasonal appropriate than a lot of other things that I show on this channel, where I won't be wearing any, that many pairs of heavy duty boots anytime soon. These are kind of on the back burner for now because I have plenty of inexpensive combat boots I can wear hiking. So that's that. Okay, so as usual, I always say, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I will try to respond in a timely and coherent manner and all that. And whoops, mess up my hair while I'm trying to fix my hair. And yeah, because they're just basic, like I said, semi-dress, casual, office smart casual, day wear shoes. So not a ton of mystery, but they are also not fake uppers or non-leather uppers, I guess I should say, like the Payless ones. So again, I'll show the bottom of this though. For those of you who aren't going to go back and watch the other video, this is the lacing or the stitching channel that I was referring to. And of course, this is a different design and not a true wingtip per se. So a little bit, what are they, like tap shoes almost, but they're not, they don't have any metal on the bottom. They have a rubberized outsole. And then they have the overlay on top of the black on top of the inner leather, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, not the exact same shoe, and yada yada yada. Okay, but similar concept, I guess. So, like I said, if you go to their website, you'll find tons and tons and tons and tons of models, many of which will look too flamboyant or not flamboyant enough or something for whatever you're trying to accomplish. Again, when I want something that looks kind of 1920s or 1930s, these are kind of pretty much along those lines, but I don't dress like that, like constantly, like some YouTube people who, I don't know, cosplay of their decades or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I'll stop rambling now. And again, if I didn't think of something to mention, let me know. Okay.